everybody, welcome to the party where the knots hang. It's just a rap thing.
And we're back with episode 60.
5 more years, we can retire.
Yeah. Of the sounds of frickin' struggle here.
Yeah!
I don't know why I was so angry.
Yeah! Bringing it back.
I'm Chris Perish.
I'm hungover from the Rumble. Maniac.
Hungover from booze or
Yes.
longevity?
Yes.
Both?
Yep.
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 Speaking of the yep movement, didn't go so well for them at the Rumble now, did it?
No, shall we get into the Rumble stuff?
Really,
Yeah.
I was really hoping you were going to say nope.
Yep, it didn't.
Yeah, we might as well start right from the Rumble.
Wait, before we do that, let's do Rumble, then we'll do NXT.
Yep.
Yep.
So the Royal Rumble. I mean, we got to talk about the Rumble because I mean that's obviously the big one. I mean,
My
no
favorite
offense to NXT, but it's the fucking Rumble.
My favorite pay-per-view of all time, of all the time.
So we started off, pretty good. I thought.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Like, well, first off, what was your favorite match?
Probably the Rumble, just because
It's the fucking Rumble.
It's fucking Rumble. But favorite match that wasn't the Rumble? It's a good question. Let me get back to you on that one.
Yeah.
What was yours?
My favorite one that wasn't the Rumble?
The Women's Rumble.
No, I enjoyed the Usos and Gable and Benjamin, to be honest.
That one was good. I'll be completely honest here. When we went to watch, we were watching late because I was at shoot job.
You forgot about the 2 out of 3 falls stipulation.
I completely forgot several times, actually. And that was because the week of, I didn't watch.
Yeah.
So I didn't know. But then I forgot, and it was still good. And the fact they won 2 in a row, that legitimately shocked me. So good on them for forgetting me.
Yeah, so do you want to start off... That wasn't the first match of the night.
No, I think Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens was the first match.
The first match was the WWE World Championship match between AJ Styles going up against both Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And
match itself was alright.
the match was actually not bad.
Yeah, well, it wasn't bad. It was what I expected. I expected him to retain.
Well, I mean, the one thing I thought was going to happen more was more 2-on-1.
Which didn't really happen.
Not as much as I thought.
You think it would happen more, they take advantage, but they didn't.
Yeah, so that was a little bit
confusing.
But I mean, also I guess when I find out that Kevin Owens isn't really doing he's working hurt a lot for a while now.
Yeah, I guess he's pretty banged up, so that makes sense.
So the fact that they didn't have him doing a whole lot, I guess, is understandable. But at the same time, I don't know, like cheap shots kind of stuff. I'd expect a little bit more. Not surprised that they had AJ Styles retain.
No.
But I am surprised that I just think every time a 1 beats 2, it just makes the 2 look weak.
Yeah.
No matter what.
I think they did it in a way where it worked.
Yeah, so the finish came is when Sami Zayn was on, he goes to jump over AJ Styles. AJ Styles has him on his shoulder. He's going to make the tag.
It's the old Memphis tag spot.
They don't make the tag. He ends up then throwing Zayn out of the ring. Owens comes in, gives him, I believe it was a super kick, goes for a pop-up power bomb, which got turned into a victory roll, 1, 2, 3.
Catches him by surprise, yeah.
And... it's an out-of-nowhere pinfall, but then you have the heel saying, well, we never tagged, he pinned the illegal man.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it was a good finish. I mean, and they have a point, and I can't dwell on the fact that, I guess, I don't know, to me it was just, you made the mistake, and in today's work, and with today's technology, it's hard to look at this finish and I'll be like, well, the ref's an idiot because you have replay galore going on.
The only way they think they covered it was that they kind of... AJ Styles swung Sami Zayn a little bit and the ref kind of cowered like he was going to get hit. That's why he missed it, but he thought there was one.
Yeah. And to me, it's just...
Which, I mean, it's kind of opposite of the ref not seeing a tag or whatever, so I'm okay with it, but I don't know. When you see a 2-on-1, you kind of always just, especially with who was in it, you expect a victory from the two.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, good for AJ.
I even wouldn't have been surprised if I would have saw a DQ win, where AJ used something in favor. And then it's like, oh, AJ's using a technicality to get out of it from, like, the heel's point of view. But then it's like, look, I mean, you're in a fight against, it's a 1-on-2 fight. You're the one. Of course, you're going to do what you can to survive. However, with that being said, it looks like moving forward that the AJ Styles versus both of them might be kind of taken away.
Yeah.
Now, even though on SmackDown we saw in the announcement that one of Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn will face AJ Styles at Fastlane.
So we get Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn again. But it's been a while, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
And you know what? As we were talking off screen, off stage, off kilter, I think you're right. I think Zayn will win that.
Yeah, I do have an idea that might actually see a rematch for the Rumble. And that's Owens and Zayn just do a fixed match where they end up pinning each other and then just say, well, I guess we both won. We both have to face AJ Styles again.
If they do the same sort of match that Michaels and Triple H did for the European title, that would be funny.
Yeah. So it'll be kind of curious because eventually this is just all lead up to WrestleMania. And we'll get to that when we talk about the Rumble, but I mean, obviously by now, since it's almost a week past, we all know that Shinsuke Nakamura won the Royal Rumble.
What?
And he picked AJ Styles.
What?
So, so I mean, obviously this is all build up to AJ versus Nakamura. So, thank you WWE for doing what everyone actually wants you to do.
Finally.
So, I mean, second up, we had one of the tag team title matches, the 2 out of 3 falls.
Yes, that was a good match.
Between the Usos and Gable and Benjamin.
Which I was a little shocked with the history of WWE taking action against people getting DUIs, which I believe was it Jey Uso had a DUI recently.
Yeah, but...
And I thought they were actually going to drop the title.
But at the same time, this is Vince McMahon having a black worker and a championship match. Just kidding, I'm not going racial, just making a joke about how Vince never puts titles on black guys.
Yeah, especially Shelton. He's never won anything there. Not once.
Not lately.
Well, yeah, not lately.
Hey, ain't no stopping me now.
Well,
except for politics. No, I'm just... I personally think they might go to Bludgeon Brothers and Usos here.
I can see it.
At Fastlane. But...
You mean with Luke Larper?
Yeah.
LARP meaning, live action role playing, because that's exactly what they look like they're doing?
Yeah.
Rowan and Luke Larper. Yeah, the LARP brothers.
So, I just wouldn't be surprised if, this is just a way to, get the Bludgeon Brothers into the tag title match so you can see more of them. However, I'm not surprised in the 2 out of 3 falls that the Usos took fall 1.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people were surprised to see Usos quickly also take pin 2.
Yeah, I literally went for a beer in your kitchen, turn around, match is over. Like, what?
Yeah, and it's all basically one room.
Pretty much.
So, so, I mean, with that said, I mean, it was a nice finish where they ended up taking out one of the Usos, isolating the other one in the ring. So, as they make the tag, as I believe it was Gable going up top.
Yes.
Benjamin goes to set up for something. Ends up getting rolled 1, 2, 3, and you just pretty much right at 3, you see Gable kind of jump off the top, trying to break up the pin. So it really came out of left field there, and it made it look like the champs or
stuck out.
And the challengers thought they had this one in the bag, and just right when they thought they did, it got countered, and that's what makes the Usos... That's why they're the champs, because they...
Yeah, speaking of which, you didn't see SmackDown this week, did you?
No. I mean, I read the spoilers. Yeah, like you last week, I haven't watched anything this week.
Did you happen to read any spoilers about, new stuff they're doing with, CGI and, stuff on the screen?
I heard that they're doing selfie promo.
No, it's not even that. They're also doing these things where, Shinsuke Nakamura came out. And when he did that thing where he goes to the rope and does his thing where he falls back onto his knees or whatever, the word Rockstar appeared on the screen. It was the strangest thing I've ever seen.
Oh.
I don't know why, because I don't know that he's ever been called a rock star.
Oh, yeah, no, that's been, from what
I know he's been the artist, but I didn't know he's a rock star.
Well, I think they're kind of putting it, I don't know. I know that they have some things that they copywrote earlier and right after when Shinsuke was called up.
Okay.
I'm not sure if just the artist or the rock star or what it was, but I think there's both.
But yeah, they also did, when Usos did a promo, they said, how they always go locked up, locked down, whatever.
Yeah.
They had these, cell doors close on the screen over top of them. It was strange, but kind of fun. It's interesting. Someone in the back really fucking around with the TV screen. I like it.
Unless they're trying something different, and then, it's just like a test to see how it gets received, and if it doesn't get received well, then screw it.
And they'll pretend it never happened.
But I did hear that there's more selfie-type promos in the back going on.
Yes.
I haven't seen those yet. I mean, I did see a couple on the website that kind of looked stupid to begin with.
Yeah, whatever.
Just just imagine if John Cena just taking a selfie video,
Yeah, they're going back to basics, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess, but it's the new way. It's
trendy.
All the kids nowadays, that's what they do, right?
It's trendy. So, I mean, I can understand trying new things, but, if it doesn't pan out, then out you go.
Yeah.
And then match 3 was actually the first in the male Royal Rumble,
which surprised me.
Yeah. I'm not surprised that one was earlier, because I don't think you can go back to back. I think in this case, you might have actually been able to. In this year's, you might have gotten away with it only because I think all the non-Rumble matches didn't really captivate you as much as the Rumble matches themselves.
Yeah.
Yes, we saw
for the men's Rumble, we saw guys like Rey Mysterio return, the Hurricane,
Adam Cole,
baby!
And I think one of the best ones was the NXT champion Andrade Cien Almas.
That was surprising.
And he came out to a babyface reaction.
He really did.
So I think it's because he put on a hell of a match the night before.
Yes.
To the point where,
which we'll get to.
Yep. It was nice. I didn't expect a lot of surprises this year because there's a lot of people in there.
Yeah.
But where I was going on, you saw the Seth Rollins, the Sheamus, the Cesaros in the Rumble match,
which they had matches right afterwards.
Yeah, and the match that followed right after was the tag match, the Raw tag title match.
Which, shout out to your friends for being all, I don't want to watch this, and we skipped it.
Yeah.
I mean, I went back and watched it after. It was all right, but.
Well, take that match and watch it first.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
The fact that it's the match that follows a Rumble, and this is why I say, in this year, the only thing that you could follow a Rumble with is
another Rumble,
and now this is another Rumble that would be the first ever women's Rumble.
Yeah.
So that would have been okay. And I think with the fact that every 90 seconds you have somebody new coming out, it's bringing and keeping the crowd invested. So I don't think...
Yeah, I'll be completely honest, I was a little bit exhausted after the Rumble. That's like watching another tag match, I was like, if you skip it, we skip it. I'll watch it later.
But at the same time, if you came back with a women's Rumble...
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, it's a little different. But another match, kind of okay.
Because they had that...
It brings you down a little bit.
Yeah, they had the tag match. What did they have after that tag match? Was it the heavyweight match?
Yeah, then you had the triple threat Universal. But
I liked it, but at the same time, maybe I was expecting more, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it felt like there was something missing from it.
Yeah.
Which I expected Brock Lesnar to retain or for Braun Strowman to win, which Brock did retain.
Well, and then
I don't know. I was expecting something.
We both said that in that match. And I don't want to completely jump the gun because we didn't really talk much about the male Rumble, but that match was served for a purpose to, put Braun in a title match, not in the Rumble, so he doesn't eat the L in the Rumble.
Yeah.
Because clearly he wasn't the guy they wanted to win the Rumble.
Yeah.
But also then you add Kane in to make sure that Braun also doesn't eat the L in that match, and then Kane does. So now you can fully move on
Yeah.
and move past Kane in there, and you can go more Brock and Braun if you want to do that.
Yeah.
And so I think
Which,
it was nothing special of a match,
no,
but at the same time, it, I mean, you got to see Brock Lesnar, you got to see Braun Strowman.
yeah, like,
So I mean, you got to take what
you got to see a real stiff shot go back and forth between them.
Yep.
That was awesome.
But from the reports say there wasn't any heat between the two. It was just
It was one of those. It was a accidental shot.
It's like-
and an immediate receipt.
Yep.
And then you're all good.
exactly.
That is wrestling.
Yep.
That I liked.
It's happened with a lot more people than just Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman. It's just more awesome to see it with guys like Brock Lesnar and Braun
Because
Strowman.
you can see Brock hits him, and Braun was legitimately a little wobbly there for a second.
Well, I think when you saw Braun give him that stiff knee to the face, you're like, oh, shit, sorry, bro. And then it's like, oh, here you go. And I think, too, like, I think it's easier to take a knee to the face than a fist
To the ear.
right in the... Well, it was more in the cheek if you saw it.
Yeah, cheek/ear, but his hand's like such a big fucking ham hock. They kind of got his whole side of his head.
On top of that, you have the glove as well.
Yeah.
So, but with that being said, I mean, that kind of takes away the Universal title match.
Yeah.
We'll work a little backwards and
Go back to the Rumble.
well, I was going to say go back to that tag match.
Okay.
Because did you not watch it again after?
Mostly, yeah.
So-
I heard that Jordan was hurt, and that's how kind of they
Yeah.
protected him. I thought they did an alright job with that. Now that we know that,
Yeah.
At the time, if I had watched it and not known that, I'd be like, "What the hell's going on?"
Yeah.
But now knowing that information, I see what they did there. I actually appreciated that.
Yeah, and kind of what you saw in this match was almost Jason Jordan being the reason why they lost the titles.
Which I can see for a build up to Mania. I can see what we said before. It'll be Rollins versus Jordan at Mania. I can see it.
It could I could always look at this as being a reason to put Jason Jordan in, say, like an Andre the Giant Memorial, and then doing something post Mania. I don't know if I'm technically sold on this as a singles match, but I wouldn't be surprised either way.
Yeah.
Because again, I wouldn't be completely surprised to see Seth Rollins closer to Intercontinental title, moving
Yeah,
him
fair
closer to
enough.
Mania.
Also, a shout out to the bar who have named their titles. They've named them Larry and Peaches. How about that?
Did they actually?
They actually, for shoot, they actually did.
Okay,
do
can
that.
I guess that Peaches is Sheamus
I believe so, yes.
and Larry is Cesaro?
I just think that's hilarious that Peaches is so influential since being on this podcast. He now has a title.
Hey, Adrian Christian, who's rocking strapping who now?
It's definitely not us because we don't have the rights to that.
Well, neither do they. They just
We
made it up.
just get people over.
Well, I mean, we just call things.
Yes. We are the $5 people in the malls that, predict your future. We're like that, but better because we can do it right.
We're the we don't have a cool name yet, but we'll come.
We'll
up
work
with
on it.
It's
No, we have a cool name.
it's a whip.
It's Tag Struggle.
Well, I mean, that's
3.
that's for wrestling, but our minds
Tag Struggle 3.
and our smart minds.
They've been released by Tag Struggle 3, The Drug. Yeah.
I think we can get something better.
Well, I've got for now.
We need beer for that, though.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Beer, the
now
Olympics,
now going back to the Rumble, because I mean, I think this pay-per-view has to be mainly talked about the Rumble.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So going back to the men's Rumble match, what's your favorite part about that Rumble? What's your favorite moment that you took away out of it, and what do you think about the result and how they came about it?
Okay, first of all, I'm going to say result. Called it!
What? Yeah.
We called it! The fact that Finn Balor lasted almost an hour, good for him.
Yeah.
One of my favorite, not my favorite part, but one of my favorite parts was Roman Reigns throwing out a little receipt for Seth Rollins returning on them all these years ago. You see they were working together, and then he just dumps Seth over. You see Seth looks at him shocked, and you can see Roman kind of smile. Then you see Seth kind of smile and go, yeah, okay, fair enough. I deserve that. There it is. Comes full circle. In the same arena, isn't it? Or was it just after that?
It was in Philly. I'm not too sure which arena the turn was in.
Whatever. Point is.
Yeah, I think one of my favorites was just seeing... I always like seeing now who's going to be the guys from NXT that pop up?
Yeah.
The returns. I still think it was cool to see Rey Mysterio and Adam Cole have a thing.
Because Rey Mysterio actually looked good, too. He's lost some weight. He looks, like, lean.
Well, I think and this is what I said. He does look like he lost weight and dropped down a little bit. But it also, I think, looks that way, too, because he's not wearing the big pants anymore.
The baggy pants, yeah.
He's wearing more tight pants.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of makes him look smaller, because if you make his legs kind of puff out like they would look like the baggy pants,
yeah,
he might look a little bit bigger. But at the same time, you definitely don't... I think he has less muscle tone.
Yeah, he's looking more tone, less
He looks more
big.
like he can be on 205 Live opposed to challenging for the heavyweight title.
Yeah.
Not that he was probably 200 pounds beforehand, but he was probably maybe 180, 190, and now he looks more like a 160, 170. Yeah. Maybe even 180.
The one thing I didn't like, which I loved it but I hated it, was Hurricane comes in and immediately gets thrown out. I mean, funny, yes. I wish I got to see a little more of him, but oh well, it is what it is.
Yeah, I think the fact that, he tried to chokeslam John Cena,
that was pretty funny.
I think he was there to bring the comedic effect.
Oh, absolutely.
It would have been, I think, really good to see him and Heath Slater team up and try to do something.
Yes.
Because I just like that interaction of old and new.
Yeah. Stand back. I've got kids coming through.
So, I mean, just with that, it was kind of interesting. I was surprised that we saw no 205 Live guys.
Yeah.
Not one.
Yeah.
At least, maybe, like, one or two. Like, maybe the one that's like, okay, maybe we're pushing Cedric Alexander. Maybe we'll throw him in one.
I think they had that 6-man tag at the pre-show, which looked all right. But
yep. Also, we didn't see Bobby Roode. Even though he was in a pre-show at a kickoff match.
Yeah.
He wasn't in there as well. Well, neither was Mojo, because Mojo opened up Bobby Roode's challenge.
Mojo, I'm okay with not seeing again. But I'm a little surprised guys like Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins, you don't want an easy guy just to put someone over.
Well,
a little surprised with that.
I think they knew they had some of that when they were putting the Rhinos in, the Heath Slaters.
Yeah, fair enough.
Even the Hurricane being in there as short as he was.
Zack Ryder did bring up a good point.
Even Adam Cole was only in there for like 7 minutes.
That's true. But he had a hellacious match the night before.
Yeah, but supposedly one of the rumors too was his name was being tossed around for being the guy to answer Bobby Roode's challenge.
That would be sweet.
But at the same time, I think they looked at probably the fact that he lost the night before to Aleister Black in an Extreme Rules match, then you're making him lose again on the roster might have been too much. While as a Rumble, you can hide a loss better in a Rumble because you technically don't get beat, you just get thrown over the top rope.
Yeah.
Also, the one thing I want to say, are you a little bit tired of Kofi always doing you didn't eliminate me, I got a cheap trick up my sleeve kind of thing?
Not really. I actually enjoy it. I look forward to it every year.
Because I just want to see once where he just...
I like the fact that last few years, though, it's been like he does something to stay off elimination, gets in, and then immediately gets knocked out. I mean, as opposed to years ago, it was he'd do something to stay off elimination, is in there for another 10 minutes. This last few, it's been in, or saves himself, get back in, then he's thrown out.
See,
that I like.
The one thing I just don't understand, if I am in the ring and nobody is doing anything to me, and I see Kofi Kingston like climbing something outside, because
you take off your boot and you throw it at him.
No, I go underneath the rope and I push him.
Oh, I guess you could do that too. It's more funny if you throw a boot though.
And like, how funny would that be though? If you just saw the Miz go down and you just pushed him, and then boom, he's out.
I agree.
Like, it's just, to me, it's simple.
I mean, shout out to Xavier Woods for doing what any good brother would do and saving him.
Yeah, but you know what I don't like? How many pancakes they wasted.
That was a lot of wasted pancakes.
And how dare you?
Yeah.
And not to mention New Day, here's also another how dare you thing. How dare you give away pancakes without any maple syrup? Like, fuck you guys.
Although I have to admit...
Get educated.
I thoroughly enjoy the little rivalry that Big E and Corey Graves seem to have, where he keeps throwing pancakes at him and then Corey's throwing them back. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I don't know what Corey Graves did to deserve that, but keep doing it.
I think it's just interaction.
I think it's even scarier the fact that Big E's carrying him down his pants, pulling them out, and throwing them.
Well,
That's got to have some sweat because he's a heavy
and he
sweater.
stuck one in Heath Slater's mouth, and Heath Slater did not want none of that.
No, I can't imagine.
That's
a good rib.
That was funny though.
That is good. I enjoy that. Imagine the swass on that.
Who do you think? I think I know who you're gonna say, but who do you think stole the show in the Royal Rumble match?
I'm gonna say Balor did pretty well, just being in so long. Shinsuke, because obviously he won it, but he was in for a while.
Now, do you think Shinsuke looked like a better superstar by winning it? Do you think it...
I think finally I can start... I mean, since he's come to the main roster...
Does it help his status now that he has a Royal Rumble?
The fact that since he's come to the main roster, I really haven't cared what he's done. And suddenly now he's got something to his name. It's like, I can start taking him a little more seriously.
Yeah.
And the fact that it wasn't just he came in 30th, whatever like that. He was actually in there for a while and eliminated a few people. He actually earned it. I can start taking him a little more seriously now. Mm-hmm. That I like.
I do like the fact now you don't have to just say the artist or the rock star Shinsuke Nakamura. You can say the 2018 Royal Rumble winner. Like, there's now an achievement under his name.
Yes.
It's just not relying back on, okay, he's a former 2-time NXT champion.
Yes.
There's now a current tagline to his name that has weight behind it. So I like that aspect. I do think Finn Balor had one of the better performances of the thing. However, I'm also surprised.
Shout out. Dolph Ziggler come back. Number 30. Yeah. I like that. It was good to see him again. I like that.
I'm actually going to give a couple pros and cons to why I liked or didn't like that.
Okay.
In a second.
Go for it.
But another guy who I thought did very well was Cien Almas.
Yes.
He stayed in for, I think it was roughly almost a half hour.
Yep.
And he got a couple eliminations in. Mm-hmm. So, all in all, I mean, not a bad way to kind of make a staple on.
Actually, that and the fact that Matt Hardy came in, actually worked with Bray Wyatt briefly, then like eliminated himself and Bray Wyatt. That kind of continues that on. Cool. That's the way you do it. Continue the storyline that way.
Yeah. Now, my pros and cons about Ziggler coming back. My pros is that he came back. It's nice to see him again.
Yes.
Another pro is that, he's in there. He wasn't going to win. So, again, you go back to the getting thrown over doesn't necessarily mean, like, you're weaker. So I like the fact that he was saved out of that.
Yeah.
But here are my two cons that I don't like. One, I would have much preferred him to go after something more legitimate, like like the U.S. title, like either beat up Rude after or go after like a champion and solidify your status in place of where you think you should be.
Yeah.
Two, the fact that he came out to 30, I thought was a little bit more anticlimactic. Had he been more of a one and it was, say, Balor and Ziggler starting opposed to Ziggler...
Balor's number 1, he's number 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Ziggler's number 1 and Balor was 2?
Yeah.
Instead of Rusev being number 1, that totally... Like, that one just... You had Aiden English come out to
I thought it actually was him at first.
Yeah.
But then he started doing his singing thing and... You know what? Say what you want.
And
Rusev Day is over.
Who was the first one that said, wait a second, it might not be him?
Your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife has no idea what the fuck was going on.
She doesn't even know what people are.
Yeah.
Love her, though. She's great.
It's okay. It's the second time I said that today.
Yeah.
No, I just thought if he didn't care about being U.S. champ, why should he care about the Rumble?
That's a good point.
So I just don't understand.
And also, I don't think he was on this past Tuesday Night SmackDown.
No, and then that's what I mean. Like, if I was him, I would have just came in, and I would have just climbed the rope, and I would have walked out and bailed.
That would have made a statement.
And then, to me, it's just like, I just don't understand what him coming back to wrestle in a Rumble, what that accomplished. If he just came in to literally piss people off and to say, yeah, look, I'm back, but I'm gone now. Look, I just came here to ruin your Rumble.
That actually would have been, being number 30, walking in, walking to the ring, onto the bottom rope, climbs over, leaves.
No one touches him.
Doesn't make eye contact, doesn't do anything, just does that. That would be interesting.
No.
It's a good point.
So, I mean, that's kind of, to me, again, it's, you have Dolph Ziggler. I don't think they know what they're doing.
No.
With him. So, yeah.
He's also, though, he's very involved out of this with, what do you call it, political stuff down in the States. He's hugely involved in that stuff. He loves it. So maybe he's got stuff going on.
Yeah, I just know that he's still under contract right now. And I just don't understand why him coming back at the Rumble is going to benefit his status there.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I'm looking at it, and kind of really the only way I'm looking at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now we go to the Women's Rumble.
Yes, we talked about the other two. So yeah, Women's Rumble.
So
now, I have one little thing, and this is just something really small that...
So before we get there, what do you think about Shinsuke announcing right away who he was going to wrestle at Mania?
Doesn't happen as much, so I was okay with it.
Yeah.
You start the build-up right away.
Now, we saw it in the Women's Rumble where both champions came out and watched. Why didn't you have the same thing for the men's?
Because they were both wrestling, one after, one before. I don't know. I agree. I like that. I did. But I think it's honestly, and this is not a knock on the women, but I think it's because neither one of them were wrestling. They weren't allowed in it, so you have to make them know what's fighting for. It's historic, so I think that's why.
I just feel like it was a way to separate the two, not treating them equal, which goes against the women evolution thing. But anyway, going to your point.
My one little thing is, it's the first ever Women's Royal Rumble. You should probably have watched a couple of the men's, and people constantly rolling out underneath the bottom rope was not a fan of.
Yeah.
Because there were times where I completely forgot who the hell was in.
Well, and that's...
You just roll to the apron, or roll to the outside, but have you're still kind of on the apron so you can still see them. Do that.
Mm-hmm. Also, too, what do you think about in the men's? About Ty Dillinger
getting beaten down and then Sami Zayn?
And Sami Zayn coming in.
I didn't hate it because he was supposed to come out at 10.
I would have preferred it to be on the entrance, not in the backstage.
Yeah, absolutely. Not backstage, but have him get attacked at the entrance and him go in. I didn't mind. It hasn't been done in a while, so I don't mind it.
Mm-hmm. I think the last one was Rowan Harper.
Yeah. That was, a couple years ago?
Oh, come on. I just did what you were doing with Rowan, Luke Larper,
Larpers, yeah.
Did not know. With Eric Rowan, I believe he did it a couple years ago.
Back when, wasn't it when Harper was made Intercontinental Champ as a heel?
Well, it was back when they were all fired after the Survivor Series. That angle with the Authority. And then they got their jobs back by the win, and then he's the only one that lost his attempt to get in the Rumble, so he just beat up a random guy and took a spot.
Yeah. That's true. Honestly, it can't be that memorable. I don't remember it.
No, it's also Eric Rowan.
Yeah. I still think his best work is part of the Wyatt family. I really do. But hopefully the Bludgeon Brothers thing works out. And
I honestly think some of his best work is tagging with Luke Harper.
Absolutely.
But anyway, now that we go back to the Women's Rumble, I agree. Like, it's...
Because there were times where it's like someone comes out and then someone comes in and dumps someone and you're like, oh yeah, I guess they are still.
I mean, if in the video game they can get the guy just to roll under the ring and stay in the ring, why that couldn't be a thing? I don't know if it's a thing of maybe the women just weren't coordinated to...
Maybe they were told to roll out.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the thing. So we don't know that, but maybe they were told.
But maybe they're just not coordinated to adapt as much as the men. Like, there are some pretty green people in that Rumble.
Yeah, that is true. I did enjoy some of the throwbacks, like Lita, even though she pretty much murdered Becky Lynch with that moonsault. Well, that fall backwards flip thing. She got she got negative air. Like, I know
she never did.
I know she normally never gets much air, but she got negative. She went straight down and almost spiked herself, which normally she does top rope. It's not bad, but that was bad. And her knees directly on Becky Lynch's stomach. That had to have sucked.
Good thing Becky wasn't pregnant.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully she wasn't.
Absolution.
That was the solution to the abs, I guess. But, And it seemed like there's never like a plethora of women in the ring. It was always like 6, maybe 8, and then someone would be eliminated. And like they never had like a big.
I kind of like that, to be honest, because it always got you swiveling. Okay, who's in the ring? Okay, now who's next?
I will say this: very disappointed in Sasha Banks. Her strikes in that match were terrible.
Yeah,
there was noticeable air between her foot and the person. That is just, and she's a good worker.
And that was on Lita, of all people.
And she's a good worker.
Who, by the way,
knows better.
No sold them.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah,
but I would say she's a good worker. She knows better. I don't know. Maybe she was tired. I don't know what the case was. Nervous. I don't know. But they were brutal.
I always found that the Royal Rumbles or Rumbles in general are a way for, if you're a babyface and you're too tired, just fucking choke them. You can get away with it.
Or grab a leg and look like you're trying where you can just get a breather. It's so simple. Rumbles and Battle Royales are some of the easiest matches. Mm-hmm. I think I've had the most fun sodomizing people in Rumbles and Battle Royals. That's the most fun.
Hell.
You get people's genuine reaction when a thumb goes in their ass.
I threw a dildo at Rick Jules in the last one I was in.
Shaun Martens and I raped Nasty Nate Nixon's mouth.
Oh.
Like, it was a legitimate rape.
So did God, so it's okay.
He's not real.
Well,
we are. We're spectacular.
Hey.
That's not the point. Some of the women coming back, like, having Kelly,
yeah.
That was brutal. I
would have loved...
even in her first run, all she was really eye candy. All the other women she worked with got her over. Mm-hmm. But this time was just bad.
I mean, I understand they're bringing more past women on because I heard that they were filming a special about it, and they wanted more past faces than future. That's
fine, but there were several names I could think of other than her.
I would have loved to see a Karma Nia confrontation.
That would have been sweet.
But at the same time, we got a Beth Phoenix Nia one, and
I liked. That was good.
It was really good.
And the fact that...
you saw a couple of older rivalries like Trish and Mickey and Trish and Lita.
Yeah. And you had...
I didn't like how much Michelle McCool fucking took control in there.
I didn't mind it.
I didn't like who. I was just kind of surprised to see somebody like, I don't know, a Sasha or a Becky or more of a Natty or like more of someone who's on the roster now saying, "Fuck this. I'm the now, you were the then.
Yeah.
You're not controlling it."
Which, it was kind of nice to actually see Sasha. It looks like she has done a heel turn finally. It's about time.
It looks like that. But again, like, these are matches where you can get away with doing almost just about anything because there's no rules.
Okay, and here we go. In 3, 2, 1, spoiler alert. We called this one too. Asuka retains her winning streak, wins, and, well, we called it.
Nope.
So... cool.
And instead of picking, when she was in the ring and you had Bliss on one side and Charlotte on the other.
This is where I've had some time to think. I get why they did it, but I still don't like it.
Yep.
Rowdy Ronda Rousey, who apparently was actually wearing Roddy Piper's jacket, comes and does the point to WrestleMania sign thing, whatever the winners do, which I think 150% just took everything away from a historic night of the first ever Women's Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Now,
I would have, even though we both hated the idea, I would have rather her come out in the match.
See,
100%.
I actually like the fact she wasn't in the match.
I do too, but I think what they did, she should have rather been in the match.
Because I don't understand, like, even if she's in the match, how a win or a loss helps at all. She loses, okay, now Ronda Rousey's here and she just lost. It's like, great, I don't care. It's like when she got beat for the first time, her stock went down.
Yeah.
In the UFC. Now it's more of a, alright, I can understand the selling point of, okay, Ronda Rousey's going to be at WrestleMania. We get it. But at the same time, why did you have to do that? Like, why couldn't you not have had Asuka saying, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte, nobody is ready for Asuka. And she doesn't make a pick. She goes to walk out, and as soon as she's walking out, that's when Ronda Rousey music hits.
That's fine.
And it's just like completely, you didn't, one finished, and then now you got something different.
Yeah. And that I would have been totally okay with. But the fact that they were in the ring and it looked like maybe she was going to decide something was going to happen, then took away from it.
The fact that Asuka was still in the ring.
Yeah.
And you're like...
totally took away
She just won the first ever Women's Royal Rumble.
Yep.
And you just had an even bigger story kind of just swooping under the rug.
Absolutely.
Or that's what it felt like.
Yeah, I did not like it.
Yeah.
I think it would have been saved if she did that. And then Asuka gives her a nice solid elbow, tosses her out of the ring. That would have saved it.
Or it would have been even nice if Asuka had the microphone and she told both champions no one's ready for Asuka, and then as soon as she passes through like as she's walking out, Ronda comes out, she goes back on the thing and says, "You're not ready for Asuka either," and walks out.
That would have been perfect.
And
yeah.
And then now you're thinking, oh, okay, now what is she gonna do?
Exactly. And maybe for the first time ever, you have someone use a Rumble not to cash in on a champion, cash in on somebody.
Well, and you're just also creating a possible narrative that you don't necessarily have to go to.
Absolutely.
But it's also could be, now is Asuka and Rousey going to do something? Maybe it's maybe if Asuka wins a title at WrestleMania, is she the next in line?
Yep. And you know what? That I would have been okay with. But again, just the way they did it, I didn't like it. I felt like all 30 women went out there for no damn reason.
Well,
and I mean, you can tell by the reactions after the fact. There were several that are Nia Jax, Nikki Bella, Sasha Banks. None of them liked it. None of them at all liked it, and they were not happy.
I also wonder if some of these women also took to Twitter just to say that, just so they can look and be like, hey, Ronda Rousey's in the WWE now. Maybe if I put my name out there, maybe we can create a narrative that could sell, and I could get a match with her, and then my stock rises too.
I mean, I guess that's possible.
And I'm sure some of them may have been told to, hey, look, we want you to be pissed off of this.
That's very possible
Here,
too.
Tweet this, because we know that some of these wrestlers are told to tweet at specific times.
Yep, that's true.
As we all know with the Omega Jericho match,
yep.
It all started off on a tweet.
Absolutely.
So, so now I'm going to ask, moment of this Rumble, performer of the Rumble, and does the Royal Rumble win help Asuka?
I mean, I think her Royal Rumble loss wouldn't have hurt her, but the fact she can still say she's undefeated and go on to Mania against whatever champion.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it continues on that story. Yep. So eventually when the loss happens, it'll be big.
Yeah.
Overall, I think it's kind of funny that they gave Naomi the Kofi Kingston spot, which was literally a combination of two different things he's done in the past.
Well, she might also be the most athletic of all of them.
I think if anyone can pull it off, yes.
Yeah.
But I think...
I don't think it was needed.
No, as I say, it's the first...
And if it was needed, I wouldn't have had Kofi do it in the men's.
No.
Have her stand out.
I think the fact that it happened earlier in the night, and the fact that she's done stuff, she did things that Kofi did in the past, I think it was a little unnecessary. Yep. But I agree. If she's going to have her do it, Kofi doesn't need to do it. But I guess he's known for it now, so... Which, again, before him, it was John Morrison.
Yep.
So I don't think it's necessary to do them both, but here we are.
Yeah.
So, I think even... You know what? It might have happened, but I don't remember anybody doing the Shawn Michaels thrown over, holding on, and having their feet dangle just above the ground. I don't remember that happening in the women's. Nope. That would have been enough. Mm-hmm. That didn't really happen a lot in the men's either.
No.
To be honest.
You didn't see a lot of teases. At the same time, you saw a couple... Yeah, there wasn't a lot of role play.
Yeah.
We'll call it role play, I guess.
And you know what? The whole finish to the men's Royal Rumble, how it was on the outside and Shinsuke did a little kick to his knee, I think it was a little mistimed. I think it would have been if it was just a little bit
I also didn't like that. I also didn't like the camera angle. But at the same time...
that could have been part of it.
At the same time... Look at this bright side. Nobody wanted Roman Reigns to win, right?
Yeah, they did tease it.
A, he didn't win. B, he also dropped to something that looked weak. Ha.
That's kind of funny, yes.
So, I mean...
You know what? Asuka's way she got Nikki out... the whole thing I'm thinking of is Nikki and Asuka. That's my bad.
Yeah.
They're all rolling together. I'm tired. I need beer. But the way that she kind of kicked her leg and then she falls out, that's kind of par for the Bellas. They kind of do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say job to things, but they do sell things that they not always should. But the fact they're fighting on the outside together, I like that. It's different.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it was one of those where I would have loved to see, maybe like just a big kick to the face.
Yeah.
And then it's just the whole
Her big kick or whatever.
dead fall off. Like, I just fell off a cliff cell off the apron cut. But yeah, at the same time, at least they're battling, and it was just a matter of she battled more and got the right shot at the right time.
She, and you know what? I like the finish. The
idea behind it wasn't bad. At the same time, I do think it helps Asuka, because she not only won the Rumble and gets to go to WrestleMania, keeps her winning streak, she also now can say she's the first ever winner of the Royal Rumble match for the women.
Yeah.
That is a historic achievement that no one could take away from her. So she's always going to have that.
And you know what? Good for WWE for putting 2 Japanese wrestlers over.
Asuka may not have the winning streak for the rest of her career, but she's like, nobody can take away that she was the winner of the first women's 30 woman Rumble.
Yeah.
So for that, she always has that. Just like Jericho beat The Rock and Austin, The Rock and Stone Cold in the same night. This is something that you can't, like Asuka, even when she's a heel, she can also throw this in your face.
Yeah.
And use as something to like help her out. Now, when I go, who was the best performer? That's where I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, because women were in there and out of there so fast. I mean, I would say Sasha Banks is in there a long time, but I was not impressed. Her strikes were weak, and I mean, maybe she's nervous, maybe she's tired. I don't know. I
would actually maybe go with Nia of being the best.
She actually did look good. Mm-hmm. I'll give her that. She looked really good.
Another person who did really well, didn't expect it, Molly Holly.
Yeah, she looked great.
Yeah. Now, moment of this one. What was your favorite moment of this year's Women's Royal Rumble? Whether it's just like a return, surprise, just
the fact that they had so many callbacks. I mean, I like Beth coming back. Actually having Trish come at 30, I didn't think she was going to make it. So I like that. I don't know. It's hard to tell you.
I think my favorite moment was just seeing the eclipse done.
Having Ember Moon come out and do the eclipse, that was pretty cool.
I didn't like the fact that Asuka didn't really sell it for very long. However,
Asuka, I guess.
It's a Rumble. It's kind of swept under the rug a little bit. But with that being said, the fact that I always thought that Ember Moon is still better than a lot of the chicks in NXT.
Oh, yeah.
And should be a main roster player. I think she has more talent than a lot of the main roster.
Yeah.
And would be a fresh new face. Like, if you want to put Sasha, Bayley, and Becky on there just out of the blue, then why not an Ember Moon?
Yeah.
She's a little darker, a little bit more mysterious in the way.
I think also another little part that I really liked was in the men's Royal Rumble, Cena comes in and then everyone in the ring beat him down.
Yeah.
And then next person comes in and they move on. And then in the women's, Nikki Bella comes in, everyone beats her down. And then Brie comes in and makes a save. I think that's kind of funny that the couple both got their asses kicked right away.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say like my favorite moment was seeing Ember Moon in there. I also didn't care much for Kairi Sane, who apparently was a last-minute replacement for Alicia Fox.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but, I mean, cool.
Well, Fox got hurt. She hurt her foot, so Kairi Sane was in there. I mean, it's not like she...
I'll be completely honest, didn't notice Fox not being there.
No, I think there's a few. I mean, I don't think a lot of people would have cared if Dana Brooke wasn't in there, even though she did get an elimination.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think she eliminated Kairi Sane.
Probably, yeah.
And then I also didn't care too much about any of the Absolution. I think Mandy Rose was
actually them and the
shits.
Riot Squad didn't care. for any of them. It's not
I thought
because,
I thought Sarah Logan was the best one out of the 5.
Yeah. I think it's just because she laid her shit in.
Well, she's a good worker.
She's the only one that didn't look weak.
Well, I mean, with Ruby Riott, I've just always had a turn off on the way she worked. I always...
Even now as a heel, it's just... I don't buy it. I don't know what it is, but there's something better I just don't buy.
I just don't buy her as a heel. I don't buy her in that group mentality. I think one of the biggest mistakes they're doing with these two groups is that you have Liv Morgan, who's a babyface, as a heel. You have Mandy Rose, who's green as shit in the main roster. You have Sonya Deville, is the only right person in this, but there's no group mentality in here.
No.
Like, if they were doing more of a woman's nexus or like a theme to their group, then I can understand.
I think they're all out of their element.
And then with Sarah Logan, I think everyone just wants Crazy Mary Dobson.
Yeah. They want her as Sister Abigail.
I don't even want her as Sister Abigail.
You know what I would actually like? I'd like Ruby Riott to be Sister Abigail, be a manager. That I can get behind.
I don't know if I really want to see a Sister Abigail right now because I don't think it makes any sense to be Sister Abigail.
I'm not saying that they should do it, but I'm saying you change it up, put her as one, I'd be okay with it.
I just want to see Crazy Mary Dobson as a singles run in NXT and then onto the main roster.
Fair enough.
What about you have Crazy Mary Dobson being part of the Broken Universe?
That also.
Or the Awoken Universe.
Yeah.
But, okay.
So, overall, and again, it's my favorite pay-per-view.
It was a really good show, and I think we were both... I think, too, you finally got a Royal Rumble where you didn't get a, oh, why the fuck are they doing this reaction at the end.
Well,
I think
kind of a little bit at the end of the women's, but overall, not really.
No, but at the end, you take it, hey, Asuka won, we can get behind that.
Yeah.
Shinsuke won, we can get behind that.
Yeah.
And they're pushing Shinsuke AJ.
Yes.
I can get behind that.
Yep, I can too.
So, this is the one Royal Rumble where I think they finally got the result right.
Well, got the result that the fans want, and it also, they're listening, I guess.
So with that being said, we now go to NXT TakeOver Philadelphia.
Which, again, nothing against the Rumble, but NXT, as per usual, outshines them.
Yeah. But I think, too, it's only 5 matches.
It's like 2 hours, 2.5 hours max. It's not 7 hours.
Yeah. But also, too, it's wrestling.
Yes.
And we saw that with, right away, the opening match was for the NXT tag titles.
Yeah.
With Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly going up against the Authors of Pain.
Which, you know what? The Authors of Pain looks strong, but Fish and O'Reilly, they managed to break it down.
Well, and they looked like the smart champions where they picked apart the one little weakness that Authors of Pain had is when one of them appeared to hurt his knee. So it
was Rizar or Akeem. I don't know. It was one of them.
Well, I think they both actually have their names on them.
Yeah, they look the same to me.
I know how to... I'd have to show you, not...
Yeah, I don't know which one's which. I just know the names.
Apparently one is Canadian, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
More Samoans. Cool.
No, they're not even Samoan. That's a
Hey,
fun.
look at.
I know. However, no, it makes Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish more intuitive.
I think it makes them way more credible that they beat like these mega monster-looking guys.
Yeah, and they showed that not only are they tough because they can take an ass kicking, but they're also smart enough to stick to a plan, execute the plan, and then when they see an opening, they attack it, and then they take advantage of it.
Yes.
So that went to their favor, and they retained their tag titles. I'm not going to lie, I really now want to see these guys go up against TM61.
Yes, I do.
This is the match I want to see.
Which apparently they just came back. I haven't seen NXT this week, but apparently they just came back.
Oh, man.
So I'm stoked.
And they're using the Mighty Don't Kneel again. Kind of their catchphrase from the Indies. That was their name, the Mighty Don't Kneel.
Yeah.
So it'll be very interesting to see.
Which again, TM61's the Mighty 6-1, which apparently that's an area code in Australia.
Yep.
6-1. It's interesting.
Yep.
Bunch of backwoods fucking convicts.
But you also have a tag name that has meaning.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, I can get behind that. Just calling somebody like Breezango. Like, I'm nothing against them. I actually like the team, but I don't like the
name. They have to have something strong, like the Mighty 6'1", Undisputed Era, Tag Struggle 3, something good.
Well, just something like the Bludgeon Brothers. Even though you might not like it, at least it's something different.
Yeah, it's Mario Brothers on cocaine.
I can get behind that.
Me too.
I'm pretty sure Luigi
They're on
was
mushrooms.
Cocaine.
They're on mushrooms, LSD, and cocaine.
Yeah,
that's great.
So, and they don't have firepower. They have the Hammer Brothers power. It's Hammer time.
It's Hammer time.
Yeah. So, I mean, anyway, after this tag match, you go to Cassius Ohno against Velveteen Dream.
Which, I liked it. I think there's 2 spots where there's a little miscommunication, but they covered it up well.
What I liked was Velveteen Dream said he was going to knock him out in 30 seconds.
Which technically he did.
And the crowd chanted. They were counting the time as the match starts. Yeah. And then about, 20? Boom, you get one right hook from Velveteen Dream, drops him, and he's like, ring the bell, I knocked him out. And I love the fact...
but no, he even did... He's dressed up like Ali.
Yeah.
And he did the whole... he did the 10 count, which...
It's more Smokin' Joe Fraser.
Yeah, but he did the 10 count like it was boxing, and he celebrated. And then he got a swift right elbow.
Yeah.
And it was great.
Yeah, and then it was just like, boom, knockout. No, not really. Here's a knockout. But also, I do like... This is where I'm going to put over Percy Watson's commentating. Because he said, it's not boxing. Pin him.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it was like... And it was just little things, too, because we didn't have Nigel McGuinness on...
I guess he was sick.
Yeah.
Which, hopefully he's better.
Yep. So, we ended up just getting Morrow and Percy Watson, which I actually liked. I
didn't mind it. I thought Percy did better than I thought he would.
I liked the 2-man team.
Yeah.
I don't think you always need 3 people.
No.
But, I mean, WWE likes things clustered.
Absolutely.
So, anyway, I ended up enjoying this match as it went on. Velveteen Dream looked really good out of it. Cassius Ohno definitely took it to him as the match went on, but at the same time, made Velveteen Dream look like a bigger deal coming out of it.
Yeah, and it's the one thing that I'm going back to, which we talked about many podcasts ago.
I honestly think this match helped the stock of Cassius Ohno as well.
Yeah, no, I did. But my one thing that we talked about many podcasts ago, why can you call yourself a knockout artist or the knockout kid if you're throwing all these hits and they don't knock them out? Well, that's my one thing. Like a spinning bicycle kick or a spinning elbow, roaring elbow, whatever you call it. You hit them several times and the guy still kicks out. It's like, are you really a knockout artist? That's my little thing.
Well, I mean,
it's just real small. It doesn't really matter that much. I'll still enjoy the matches.
I mean, Brock Lesnar still does the MMA gimmick, and he doesn't really do anything other than wrestling moves now.
I agree. It's just a little thing that I wouldn't say he even has to change. It's a little something that you can actually
I don't think
opponents can use against him.
No, but at the same time, that's what he's known is to knock out guys in the past. So that's what he's known for, is the ability to do knockouts, and then it's just showing, hey, these guys are special because it doesn't beat them.
Yeah. So, no, fair enough.
But I can see Cassius Ohno now turning heel and being more of a threat in NXT now than I had of him beforehand. Like, I just thought he was like just a perennial jobber. Yeah. Now I see that, this match gave him more of a stock in NXT. And I think, you know what? I wouldn't actually be surprised if, they bring up Cassius Ohno on the main roster from time to time.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I can see it day after Mania.
I don't think he's going to be the guy, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. Just kind of like when Mojo Rawley moved up, you're just like, really? This wouldn't be that case to me. I wouldn't understand why him, but he wouldn't look out of place. So, and then with NXT, the third match we got to see was the Extreme Rules match between Aleister Black and Adam Cole.
Was it that one, or was it the women's one next?
No, the women's was semi.
Semi? Okay.
Yeah. They have a tendency of making their 2, the title.
Singles, yeah, no, that's fine. I couldn't remember which was which, but yeah, this match was. I don't think it was match of the night, but it was close second. It was good.
When it happened, it was match of the night.
Oh, absolutely. Bar none, a head and shoulders above. It was
actually,
great.
you know what? I even might give him match of the night just because of the fact that they went far beyond what I expected. I expected a wrestling classic between CN and Gargano.
Yeah.
I expected a great underdog story being told. I didn't expect nearly half of the stuff that Adam Cole...
Like putting the chairs back to back and then having him getting dropped on his back onto them. That was disgusting.
What about even Adam Cole putting a Singapore cane in the mouth of Aleister Black and then giving him a backstabber?
Yeah.
That's basically a curb stomp with a Singapore cane. Because he comes down and then his mouth is still on.
Yeah, boom there and then backstabber and that was
And the fact that Black sold his mouth more than his back, I love, because anybody who has teeth pain knows that fucking kills.
Yeah.
Back, fine, you can hack that a little bit more in wrestling.
Yeah.
But mouth, man, that's such an... Nobody works the mouth in wrestling. So it's a very unique pain.
Yeah.
Also, just checking to make sure that he had all of his teeth still. Just the selling of that was great. But even the super... I'm going to throw... Aleister Black goes up to the top rope. I'm going to throw a chair. You catch it, I super kick you. And then...
He goes through 2 tables.
The truss falls through the 2 tables.
Yeah.
Great. The spot where Adam Cole grabs a cane. Doesn't realize Black rolls out, grabs a cane. They meet in the ring. Adam's shocked. Black throws it down. Adam was like, okay, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Goes to swing it. Miss. Gets grabbed. He gets the shot.
Yeah.
It's just... To me, I love the story behind the Extreme Rules match they did.
It was very well done.
And then eventually you had the Undisputed Era get all 3 members involved, and then Sanity came in, took out Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, and then we saw the Black Mass 1, 2, 3, which
again my second favorite match of the night, which my favorite we'll get to, but that one was very close.
Yeah.
Very good match.
I think you could put it right up there. I think there might be co-performances of the night between all 4 of these guys.
But then, next was the women's match.
Yeah, the women's match between Shayna Baszler, who, by the way, awesome theme song.
Yep.
Great music.
Yep.
Against Ember Moon. And
I didn't mind it. I thought it was a good match overall, but yeah.
I love the domination of Shayna Baszler in this match.
Yeah.
Only to have Ember Moon take advantage of a situation because her heart powers her out of the submission only to get a quick roll up. There's no definitive win.
Yeah,
so you can keep the story going.
Shayna goes and attacks her after the match.
Yeah.
That was good. Overall, I liked it. I was actually kind of expecting Kairi Sane to come down for a save after.
You know what I actually expected?
What was that?
Ember Moon when she came out in for the Royal Rumble, only to get beaten down by Shayna Baszler again, and that's when you saw Baszler be the one to take somebody's spot.
That'd be interesting.
That's when I would have put it there.
Yeah.
Because she's known to attack from behind. That would have made a lot of sense. Ember Moon just took an ass kicking of a lifetime.
She put over Baszler hard, and it looked good.
I don't think Baszler looked out of place.
No, not at all. I thought, honestly, in the whole Mae Young Classic, she was dominant.
Yeah.
She didn't fully sell a lot. And the first time she had to sell for Kairi Sane, it looked a little awkward.
Yeah.
But then she go back, I think Ember in this match made her look really good, but she sold everything appropriately. Her selling didn't look kind of like that was weird. It actually looked good. So she's starting to come into her own. I like it.
Yeah. So, with this being said, I don't think we see the end of this feud, but
not at all.
I do think that this was a good first impression of what to expect now.
Yep.
But they didn't set the bar too high, but
The bar.
they also said, "Hey, you're going to get good quality out of us.
we can do more, but we didn't
Get
do
invested,
everything at once.
Get invested in the story.
Yeah.
It's going to be good." And then that takes us to Johnny Gargano
my
going
favorite
against
match that they just
Andrade Cien Almas.
yeah, who basically Gargano's doing what he's been doing lately, and he's kicking out of everything. And I actually, although I figured he wouldn't win, I was actually at points in this match in doubt of who was going to win. I didn't know.
Well, I think too, when you saw Zelina Vega get involved,
it was only a matter of time before Candice LeRae, who was ringside, just got signed. It was only a matter of time before she got involved.
Yeah, and then during the course of the match, we saw that NXT signed Ricochet, Trevor Mann, which I think they're using his real name because I don't know if they technically can own the right to Ricochet. So that's why I think they're using it as a nickname.
Yeah.
They also showed that we signed War Machine, EC3, who was named EC3.
I think that was awesome.
And then
wasn't even Ethan Carter III, literally EC3.
Yeah. And then Candice LeRae, and they actually show Candice LeRae in Gargano's locker room
with his family.
Yeah, with the family. They've acknowledged her as Gargano's wife.
Yeah.
So at one point when you saw Zelina Vega walk around the ring like she was going to attack Gargano, Candice LeRae was right there, got involved,
beat the hell out of her.
Yeah. And it was good.
Yes. Chased her out of the ring, out of the arena, which, again, eventually she came back, snuck back. But
well, I mean, that's the whole thing. What happened in the back? We don't know. There's a narrative that could be there.
Absolutely.
But I do like the fact that they instilled this. Now Candice LeRae is a player. Well, actually, they didn't bring Candice LeRae back out as well.
Yeah.
But
the match itself.
So now it's back to one-on-one.
Yeah, the match itself is back to false finishes and just overall.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
The fact that the finish saw Andre use his old move, the running like double knees.
Yeah, on the outside, and then followed up
into a ring post.
Yeah, followed it up immediately after that with the move that potentially put Drew McIntyre out off the top rope. DDT off the top rope.
Let's say that permanently won Almas the NXT title.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
So
used that and spiked him hard. It looked amazing.
Yeah. I do like the fact that I like the fact that he's using it off the top and doing more of a spike instead of just a normal in the ring.
Yeah.
There's actually a way, and I can appreciate it because I do the parachute in the ring, but then if I really want to knock a guy out, I do it on the apron.
Yes.
So I can respect the fact that he found a way to evolve his move when needed to be.
Yeah.
It's like when the match gets amplified and the stakes get amplified, and maybe your move doesn't work, you got to be able to make it bigger, and he has that.
Yeah.
So to me, this match just put a staple in Almas where he is main roster ready.
Yeah.
And I do believe he's a night after WrestleMania.
You think he loses at WrestleMania to maybe a returning Drew?
I think it's either McIntyre or it's either Aleister Black. And the reason why I say Aleister Black, because I wouldn't be surprised if Drew McIntyre comes back and they do him against Adam Cole.
That'd be sweet.
Instead of that. And then it's maybe Cole and Black.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's like you haven't seen a triple threat for the NXT title in a while.
Yeah, that's true.
At a takeover, so maybe that could be one follow through. But
yeah, that could very well work. But yeah, I liked it. And after the fact, and honestly, we thought it was over. They had the little all rights reserved thing in the corner, thought it was done, and then out of nowhere comes who we called Tommaso Ciampa and hits him in the back with his crutch, which I also found weird. He limped away, almost like he's not healed yet.
Yeah.
So that was very interesting and added another layer to it.
Yeah, and Gargano was simply being consoled by his wife and medical staff, and trying to give the whole appreciation to his fans.
I'll be back.
I'll be back kind of moment when you saw the crutch from behind, and then that's all it was. There was nothing more.
No, just a crutch hit. That was
and then there was just Candice helping her husband, and then Tommaso just be like, "Look, I can take you out whenever I want, even when I'm not 100%. I'm taking you out."
So that going forward, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, so it keeps you more intrigued with their story moving forward, and this can only be, a match that has no rules
It's going to have to be either
Like a
Extreme
fight.
Rules, No Holds Barred, whatever the
fight.
case, Street Fight,
Something
whatever
like
the case is.
So it'll be very interesting, but it looks like that's on tap for NXT New Orleans.
Yeah.
A
A great pay-per-view. Another one. Fantastic.
Yeah, amazing. My quite possibly top 3 takeovers for me.
Yeah. It was really good.
I would say Chicago was up there, and I would say War Games is up there.
Yep. So recently they've stepped their game up even more.
Yeah. And then,
But already, I can honestly say potential match of the year candidate for either the main event or for the our Extreme Rules match. Both of them could be already, and it's only January.
yeah.
Well, it's February 1 now we're talking, but I mean January that happens.
Yeah, and that's just the thing. It's amazing how much good action we get in January. In January, like, and it's like you can have so many match of the year caliber matches so early on in the year that you forget that there's still 10 months left to go.
Yeah.
And then it's an exciting time.
Absolutely.
Especially when we're only, about 3 months away from the WrestleMania.
Yep.
Or NXT
It's going to set their game.
is going to be amazing.
It's going to be balls to the wall. It's going
Yeah.
to be unreal.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be wonderful.
Well, I only did the Booker T because, as we all saw,
Jonathan Coachman returned.
yeah.
And you know what? Raw's commentary has never been better.
And you want to know what other changes have been made this week in WWE?
Oh, can I say?
Well, I'm actually going to say one that just got official.
Okay.
Jeremy Borash signs with the WWE.
What?
Yeah.
Like backstage, main roster?
I don't know, but from what I heard,
He could take over SmackDown for Corey Graves.
he also is a man who can wear a lot of hats with that company. It'll be very interesting to see what he ends up doing.
Yeah. He could. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I did not hear that. That's exciting.
Yep.
He's a good commentator, so I'm cool with that.
See, I was taking that one so you can do.
Yes. And as of officially, they were looking for a new GM for 205 Live.
Yeah.
And they managed to find one in Drake Spud. Drake Maverick. That's who it is. A.K.A. Rockstar Spud.
So, I actually don't dislike the name by any means.
I don't mind it.
I understand why they didn't want to use the Rockstar.
Rockstar Spud.
But they did acknowledge that he was formerly known as Rockstar Spud.
Yeah.
So,
A.K.A. as Mrs. Minaj calls him, Potato Guy. Yeah. Well, I like it. You know what? And I think he does well in that kind of role.
yeah, and the first thing he did was say he is going to have a 16-man cruiserweight tournament.
That will culminate at Mania.
Yeah, and it's going to crown the next cruiserweight champion. And we have new names such as Roderick Strong and Tyler Bate involved.
Yeah.
And one of the, I thought, interesting promos on WWE.com was they had Tyler Bate talking to Breezango, of all people. And he was like, any idea of why you're here? And he's like, I just got word from the new general manager that I was going to be needed and had something to do with the Cruiserweight title. So I'm here. It looks like Rockstar Spud, now known as Drake Maverick, who is English, has a little bit of... He's going to sprinkle some of that English invasion on a 205 Live.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Because we also saw in NXT that Roderick Strong defeated Tyler Bate to become the number one contender for Pete Dunne's UK title.
Yeah.
So
it seems almost like, as we were talking about earlier, that the UK title is almost like the Intercontinental title of NXT.
Yeah.
And I'm totally okay with that.
Mm-hmm. And then it has a potential of being the title when they do, say, shows in
Anywhere in
Britain,
Europe, wherever else, yeah.
So, with that being said, names that you can see in this Cruiserweight tournament, I mean, we saw Cedric Alexander defeat Grand Metalik already. We saw TJP defeat Tyler Bate already. We have Hideo Itami facing off against Roderick Strong.
Yeah. And
then I'm sure you can see other guys like Tony Nese involved.
Gentleman Jack Gallagher.
Yeah. Possibly. And then, another match. You have Lindsay Dorado. I'm trying to remember who else it was in there. I don't really remember who Lindsay Dorado is wrestling.
Let's see here. We got, I'm pulling up names here of potential people that could be in it. And we got,
I believe it's mask guy. So I'm sure like a guy like Kalisto's also in this.
Yeah, Kalisto's in it. Kira Tozawa.
Yeah.
Drew Gulak could be.
Yep.
Who else? Mustafa Ali has been confirmed.
Rich Swann, potentially.
Because he has been cleared and he's not suspended anymore.
Yep.
I guess Noam Dar and Brian Kendrick are injured.
Yep.
And they have here potentially Neville. I don't know if he would come back for this.
Yeah, I don't know.
We don't know what's going on. He's in limbo right now, so we don't know.
Oh, but no, I did read that Lindsay Dorado was in a match in this tournament. I don't recall who he is going against, but needless to say that he will be in this. So, I mean, it's interesting to see.
Oh, it's Kalisto will be against Lindsay Dorado.
Yeah, Kalisto against Lindsay Dorado. Yeah.
There we go.
I actually just pulled it up as well.
So that'll be good. I mean, I'm excited. It's a nice big tournament. It was spanned for a while. It's a nice storyline. I like it.
And it's a reason to get you invested in the cruiserweight.
Plus, they haven't announced everyone yet. They could have
a couple surprises.
Hurricane Helms come because he's there, or he could have returning Rey Mysterio.
I was going to say, what happens if Rey Mysterio turns out not to be a one-shot deal?
Exactly.
Star Power is officially on 205 Live now.
Who the hell's that?
No, I said there's Star Power.
Oh, there is Star Power. Okay, sorry. I thought you said...
Rey Mysterio is quite a name.
Absolutely.
And he brings a lot of interesting matchups.
Yep, absolutely. The other thing we didn't see, we didn't see anybody... we didn't see Dolph Ziggler. I don't know if he'd be small enough, but that'd be surprising if he's suddenly there.
No, I think it'd be interesting if you saw, like, say, like a Gargano or Ciampa or... Finn Balor could even work.
Why not?
Smaller guys on the roster.
I think they're like Balor in particular would be kind of. They're going to look at him as too big of a name, but I mean, if they put him in there, that'd be huge.
Yeah.
Switching gears a little bit, Raw has also announced Elimination Chamber. Who for the men, it's going to be number one contendership to face Lesnar.
Yeah.
So far, it's Braun, Elias, and John Cena. 3 more names. Who could they be?
Roman Reigns, I'm going to say,
one. Yes. I'm going to say coming out of this match, it's going to be either Roman or Braun against
Lesnar. Yeah. I think Roman Reigns is one. I think Finn Balor might be one.
Finn Balor actually lost to Cena, so he's out.
You never know.
That's true. It could be a battle royal or something like that. What about Seth Rollins potentially? If his partner is hurt, he can't find someone to ride.
Yeah. Maybe Bray Wyatt, Matt Hardy. Maybe those two are the other two.
Matt Hardy actually lost to Elias, but they could find another way to kind of get.
You know what? I would actually have Bray Wyatt in one of those matches, and then have Matt Hardy cost them.
That could do it. That could keep it going.
And then
because actually it would make sense because Bray Wyatt's thing, his little. When everything goes dark, it came up briefly. He didn't come out or anything.
Yeah.
But he cost him the match, and then he came up on the Jumbotron and laughed at him.
Interesting.
So I could see that happening.
Okay,
absolutely.
so let's say the 4, the 3 were again. You said Braun Strowman,
Elias, and John Cena.
So I could see Roman Reigns definitely being a staple in that match.
Yep.
I'm just trying to think of Raw.
I could also see Seth Rollins getting in. It's going to be probably made.
What happens if it's Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan?
That would be interesting. Or if it's Jason Jordan because Jason Jordan screws over Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
I could see that.
So, and then maybe they can go somewhere else with the tag division. Like maybe they'll do the bar against Gallows and Anderson or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Good brothers.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, their match versus the Revival in the pre-show, great match.
Yeah.
Loved it. So, it's the only match in the pre-show that I was like, you know what, that was awesome. The other two, they were alright, but that one was awesome.
What do you think about Bobby Roode bringing back the U.S. Open Challenge?
I like it. It can open up for potential surprises. It can, start rumors of whoever being there. It could start a program with whoever. It's I like it. It's open opportunity there.
Yep. Seeing that we are about...
Oh, before we do that, women's Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
They're also going to do that. Alexa Bliss defends. Who's in it? Obviously, Alexa Bliss is in it.
Yeah, I'm going to say Nia Jax is going to be a second one.
I'm going to say...
I can see Sasha and Bayley.
We need two more. I'd say, honestly, probably Absolution.
Yeah, the
probably.
Two men.
I wouldn't mind if it was like a Mickie James instead than someone else.
Well, clearly Asuka's not going to be in there.
No. Although they could, because that's what Cena did. He took his chance to get into the, I think it was Elimination Chamber 2008, and ended up losing.
Yeah, I just don't see that happening to Asuka.
I don't either, but I mean, they have done it before, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Absolution makes sense. Unless you have one there and Mickie James as another.
That's possible.
I mean, I guess there's always Dana Brooke.
Yeah.
But I don't know if people would care.
You never know. I don't know. Maybe she could just be a throwaway person to throw in there. I don't know. The other thing I actually liked was, kind of switching gears to SmackDown, was Riot Squad beat down Charlotte this past Tuesday. And then Carmella actually came out and teased it. Yeah, she came out to the ring with somebody.
Well, she actually wanted to cash it in from what I heard. And then Charlotte pushed the ref
the referee was taking too long. Carmella went to give her a drop kick. She moved. She drop kicked the ref.
Yeah.
And then she bailed because the ref wasn't there. But she's teasing it now. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact more that she teased or went to do it and it didn't work, as opposed to her actually catching and winning.
That's why part of me wouldn't be surprised to see Carmella cash in at WrestleMania in the similar way that Seth Rollins did.
Now, if the rumor is true and she ends up doing Charlotte versus Asuka, do you see her cashing and winning?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because that's the first loss that Asuka has.
Unless she pins Charlotte.
True, but that would still technically count as a loss for Asuka.
But Asuka never got beat.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong.
And that's what I mean. And they could still go on and say nobody has beaten Asuka. And now you're just wording your sale differently.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, technically also, they don't win the match, but they also don't lose the match either because they're not the one that got beat.
That's true.
So in a triple threat, you always have that one person that has that out.
Now my question to you is, does the WWE go with that and have the first time she's in the match not winning against Carmella?
You also might, you might not even go that route too. That also could be a very good way of taking a title off Asuka.
It's very possible. She doesn't have much longer though.
But that's only to say if Asuka does go the SmackDown route. Yeah. If she doesn't, and you get say Charlotte and maybe Becky, that would be 100% an ideal solution in my eyes.
Yeah. Also, switching gears, Dudley Boys going to be in the Hall of Fame this year.
Yep.
So good for them. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think they make a lot of sense for tag team.
I do. Yeah, I agree with that. Them joining Goldberg. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Also, now going over to Japan, Omega potentially out of the Bullet Club. What do you think of that?
I think that's going to speculate a lot more come next January.
I mean, technically, if all things go as planned, like we called it, then we called it. Of him losing the title, being out of the Bullet Club, suddenly joining forces and then attacking either Chaos or Los Ingobernables or whatever the hell you call it, or whatever from the inside. He has already been defended and started to be seen around with Kota Ibushi.
Yeah.
That could be something there, that he's actually doing it on the inside the whole time, and Cody Rhodes, who attacked him, is in on it the whole time.
Well, now, let's break down, because we saw...
He lost his IWGP United States title to Jay White.
Yeah.
Who's part of Chaos, which is with, what's his name? Okada. I can't remember his first name, but it's with Okada. So, and then after that, Hangman Page comes to the ring, takes the title from Jay White, and holds it up like he wants a title shot. And then Omega takes it from Hangman Page, gives it back to Jay White as a show of
respect.
Respect. You did a good job. You deserve this. And then Cody comes to the ring. They have this big shoving thing. Matt Jackson, who I don't know where he was during all this. I guess maybe he's outside hurt or selling something. Gets in the ring, tries to calm down Omega. Omega turns around, shoves him, knocks him over.
Yeah.
Both the members of the Young Bucks don't take kindly to this. They leave. And then that's when Marty Scurll's trying to smooth things over with Hangman and Cody, and then against Omega. They seem to, whatever, it's all good. They do their thing. And then Cody ends up putting him in the crossroads, giving him the crossroads, taking him out. And as Scurll's nearby, asking what the hell he's doing, Hangman Page actually gets him up to hold him up to take a chair shot. It looks like there's a huge division within the Bullet Club. And then that's when Ibushi comes down and makes a save. So going forward, this will be very interesting.
Yeah. Needless to say, I think a lot of people should be paying attention.
Yes.
Because you might be able to see...
Maybe this is the final farewell, the swan song of Omega in New Japan.
What?
Maybe it's not. Maybe they're putting on a huge ruse. We don't know.
I did hear that Omega signed another 1-year contract with New Japan.
Yeah, so he'll be done just after Royal Rumble next year.
Might be just before.
Might be the day of.
Because...
Who knows?
So it'll be interesting to see if Kenny Omega could be WWE bound next year.
Yeah. Maybe they're starting it now. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe again, but as I said, maybe because of the way they are, maybe this is a huge ruse where he's going to take down Chaos or someone else from the inside and then come back to the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
We don't know.
So.
I'm thinking next week we do a Let's Book for a Cruiserweight title as well as Asuka's first loss. Save it for next week.
Yep.
Couple things for hockey that I have. Marchand got suspended for 5 games for the just vicious elbow to the back of someone in Detroit. I can't remember who it is.
I didn't see it, but yeah.
But it was disgusting.
An elbow
he
to the head.
He also got to play in the All-Star game, which was after the suspension. I think that's wrong. I think he should have been suspended as well as couldn't go to the All-Star game.
I think, too, the NHL looks at this as saying, look, the players, you were voted in by the fans, and just maybe it's like, yes, you got suspended here. We're also not going to take that you away from them.
So, yeah, what I heard was actually it's only the captains were voted and everyone else was just picked.
Oh, okay.
And that's why I'm like, put Patrice Bergeron, put Pasternak or Char, somebody else.
Maybe there needs to be more of a reprehension with suspended players, and maybe that's something they have to talk about.
Yeah.
Preferably, I still want them to figure out what goalie interference is and go with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there's the play and the overtime where you guys almost lost to Calgary. You went to shoot it and you won, but there was
props to Connor McDavid for getting a shootout goal and then telling the ref to go check it upstairs. That's
pretty funny. But then in the same, I think it was the same day, Anisimov for Chicago literally sits on a goalie. I think it was against Anderson and the Leafs, which I thought was funny, and they count it. And it's like, I'm happy because it's my team, but at the same time, that was blatantly goalie interference.
Yeah, they just
they got to figure their shit out.
Yeah, that and then the offside rule.
Yes,
are two major
I think
ones.
Honestly, they should change the offside rule where as long as your foot is over the plane, even if it's not touching the ice, if it's over the plane, you're not offside, because clearly part of you is still onside. So that's just my opinion. Also, Dubinsky was sent home from a road trip with potential career-threatening personal something or other.
We don't know. He has AIDS.
So Dubinsky, the Alaskan All-Star, has AIDS.
Yep.
So,
we solved it.
Yep, we solved it. You heard it here first. He has AIDS.
Yep. And chlamydia.
I'm wondering if he maybe has. I don't want to say non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, but that seems to be a thing for the NHL. Players seem to get some sort of lymphoma cancer. It happened with Saku Koivu. It happened with Marilyn Lemieux. It happened with Brian Boyle. Boyle!
Oh.
So, who knows? But I guess he could be potentially done. Who knows? I don't know. Also, a little bit good stuff for Edmonton fans. Ryan Smith's given the Order of Canada for hockey. Good for him. He's represented Canada, I think, more than anyone else. So, he deserves it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, you don't get the nickname Captain Canada because you did things for,
the U.S.
like, your specific hockey team. You
Yeah.
did it because you represented your country, your nation. So, yeah, good on him.
What do you feel about the Oilers opening next season in Germany and Sweden?
Well, I understand it. I understand the German thing. We've talked about this before, about them trying to expand their product into areas where they can propel their superstars.
But as a fan, does it not piss you off that they're taking potentially, they haven't said yet, but potentially a home game away? So there's only 41 games here next year as opposed to 42?
No, because you're going to see the Oilers being highlighted in these kind of things. Now that, it's not just about one team or two teams. It's not just about selling Sidney Crosby to everywhere in the world. Now they're going to say, hey, look, we got the most prolific German player in Leon Draisaitl is going to play in front of his hometown in Cologne, Germany.
Yeah.
We're going to see, I don't know, to me it's just expanding the game, and they're doing it with players that they can represent. It'd be like if they're going to Switzerland and Nero Hischer is there.
Yeah.
Or,
yeah.
So, I mean, like, to me, it's them trying to bring out the game and expand it into other areas. So, I mean, to me, this is how you make the game more well-known in other countries.
Fair enough.
Is bring it there. So, whatever. I mean, hey, as long as I get to watch it, I don't care.
Yeah. Now, I have 2 points here I want your opinion on real quick. Yager got cleared of waivers. Now he's back in Czech Republic.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Part of me really wanted Pittsburgh to claim him.
Part of me wanted any team to claim him. I want him to beat that record from play 32 more games.
Yeah. To me, I'm not really too worried about that. It's his choice where he gets to play. Like, if he wanted to go back to that team.
Yeah, he went to, I guess, his hometown team.
But at the same time, like, I can see why no other team decided to claim him. Like, the guy was injured-riddled this year. He wasn't producing that well. Yeah. You could take that roster spot and give it to somebody else. Yeah. I can understand it. It's just nostalgic reasons, I think, for a lot of teams to want him.
I think so, yeah.
Part of me, and that's the thing. The only reason why I wanted to see him go Pittsburgh, I just wanted to see him to end it where it started. Yeah. And to see Sidney Crosby play with Yager would have been kind of cool as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seeing maybe McDavid with Yager, maybe seeing Austin Matthews with Yager, like those things would be cool. But I mean, I think for me it was just I like to see guys finish their career with the team that they got drafted from. Yep. Whether or not they left and came back, I think that's a good story. You saw that with Ryan Smith, who we just talked about. So, I mean, to me, it would... I don't know. As long as he is playing hockey and he still likes play hockey, good for him. Yeah,
absolutely. The other thing is Mike Fisher. Apparently he has just signed a contract. He's back playing with the Predators.
Yeah, and that just took everybody just by surprise.
That literally happened like a day or two ago.
Yeah, and nobody kind of knew about it, but at the same time, it's... I don't dislike it. I mean, it's going to be hard for him to get adjusted back to NHL speed.
Yeah.
It's going to...
I find it kind of weird that he retires and suddenly they want him back.
Maybe it's just the fact that, he expressed interest coming back. Obviously, I think the team would have him as long as he wants to keep going.
Yeah.
He's going back to a team that he knows well. They know him well.
Yeah.
He still is a leader in that locker room.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a hard transition. I don't think he's stupid enough to be that out of shape.
No.
So
I think honestly, when you do that for so many years, it's like you almost don't let yourself get really out of shape right away.
I mean, I've seen some NHL players just let themselves go.
I'm not saying right away. Like eventually, you let yourself go, but you kind of stay in shape for a couple years after, just in case.
But I mean, a lot of people use that as a reason to stay in shape too. That was their motivator. We saw that with Zach Kassian. 100%. Hockey was the reason why he wanted to clean up his life. So we saw we see that a lot in other scenarios, but at the same time, I mean, I don't think this is going to be a bad thing. Plus, I don't think he's going to be an everyday player with Nashville. They do have their centers.
Yeah.
But
He might be more
it's
of a
not a
healthy
bad
scratch.
depth move going into a playoffs.
Yeah, true enough. The only other things I have is LeBron James reached 30,000 points in his career. That's cool.
I think still by the end of the day he decides to hang up his shoes, his LeBron's, that is, I think that he's going to go down as the best player in basketball history.
Yeah, it's very potential. Speaking of former first-round picks, Blake Griffin got traded, which was surprising as hell.
Yeah.
He's now with Detroit.
Yeah.
On a 5-year, $173 million deal.
Yeah.
We are in the wrong fucking business.
Well, we're also not gigantic freaks of nature, so.
Yeah, that's true. Something I'm excited about. The XFL's back in 2020. That's awesome.
And potential names that you could see in the quarterback position are Colin Kaepernick, Johnny Manziel, because it doesn't look like he's going to the CFL anytime soon.
Yeah.
And possibly Tim Tebow.
I guess his baseball career's all done.
No, he actually got invited back to for the New York Mets for their spring training.
Huh.
So that might not happen. I am actually one person who does hope to see Tim Tebow play in the
XFL?
in Major League Baseball. I think it would be awesome to see him make that transition.
Yeah. I still rather see him in XFL. That'd be sweet.
I would love to see Colin Kaepernick in there because I would love to see a guy like that stick it to the NFL.
Absolutely.
And I'm an NFL guy. I think it's total BS that Colin Kaepernick can't play in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Especially when we have to see as much shitty quarterbacks play as we do.
Speaking of shitty quarterbacks, predictions for Sunday. Who's going over and what's the score?
I think the refs are going to pick whatever team they want to win, and that team's probably going to be the New England Patriots.
So what are the refs going to let the Patriots win by?
Whatever they want.
Okay.
Maybe they'll make it close. Who knows?
I'm going to say...
Last year they took them to They took the Falcons to overtime.
I'm going to say they win. The Patriots unfortunately win again this year. I'm going to say 26-23.
I mean, my ego wants Philly to lose because I don't want. I have a lot. I'm going to see a lot more Philadelphia Eagles fans post Super Bowl than I will see Patriot fan friends.
Fair enough.
So for that reason, I still want to say, hey, my team still won more rings than yours, so suck it. Another thing I badly want to see is I want to see Tom Brady get hurt and then the Patriots still win because I want to see how many people will still say Tom Brady is the MVP because I don't agree that he should have won half the MVPs he did, but at the end of the day, I just want to see what happens when Tom Brady doesn't win, at least. Whether or not it's, he gets hurt and they still win the game, or he loses. And I don't know. I don't know. You know that scene from Batman where they just blow up the field?
Yeah, Batman, Dark Knight Rises.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, want that to happen again. They didn't do it last year when I wanted it, so this year it's okay.
Fair enough. Also, MMA World, something I'm excited about. Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier. That's happening on July 7th.
I'm going to go with Miocic
awesome.
in that.
My thing is, if Miocic defeats the entire heavyweight division, he's got no one. He's gone through everybody. He could go down as
Bring back Lesnar.
He could go down as the greatest heavyweight of all time. Of all the time.
Of all the times.
But then if he loses to a light
It's
heavyweight,
5:00 somewhere.
Yeah, but if then he loses to Cormier, a light heavyweight. I mean, granted, Cormier at one point was a heavyweight, yes. But if he loses to technically a light heavyweight,
was he not a heavyweight champion as well?
Yeah, he was back in Pride or Strike Force or wherever he was
Strike
before.
Force.
But if he loses technically to the light heavyweight champion, what does that say about his? But then if that's the case, you know exactly. If Cormier wins, immediately after that, Stipe will have to fight whoever probably win the title back. Then it's going to be, well, if Cormier can beat him, I bet you John Jones could.
John Jones needs to keep cocaine out of his nose.
I agree. I'm just saying, then there's another super fight that'll have to happen. Do we want to see that?
No, I want to see Lesnar and Jones.
That I do want to see.
I'd book that on the same card.
That would be sweet.
Yeah.
I like it.
So.
Other than that, this past, or was it yesterday, January 31st was Bell Let's Talk Day. I hope everyone went out and did their tweeting and whatnot.
You didn't.
I completely forgot. I was also getting off night shift, and I pretty much slept all day.
What happens if there's people that needed or wanted to talk and they wanted to talk to you?
Then
Where were you for them?
Then I would have got their message and called them. I actually have a friend who's going through a little bit of something right now. I did get up and call him and ask him how he's doing. So he seems okay.
Yeah.
Seems like he's pulling through.
And we'll say this one. It doesn't matter how bad your team is. Mike the ref, it's okay. The Bills are always going to suck. Just deal with it.
Yes. But you can talk to us and we can laugh at you.
Yep.
But we will talk to you.
Because you're a Bills fan. Ah!
Yes.
Speaking of Mike the ref, he is the one who helps us out, I guess.
Yeah.
And puts us on Backbreaker Media, which is now on Spotify.
iTunes.
And Google Play.
Podbean.
And fuck YouTube.
Fuck YouTube.
Yeah. Hey, you can fuck it right in his fucking YouTube ass.
Yep. He also does a lot with Backbreaker VOD for Pivot Share.
Yep.
So we have a bunch of matches on Pivot Share now. That's awesome.
Yep.
And if you decide, hey, I want to check this Pivot Share thing out, not only do you get a nice little 2-week free trial, if you go and enter the code word TAGSTRUGGLE, you get 3 months, I think half off. So you pay half price for the first 3 months because of ya boys TAGSTRUGGLE.
You know what's better than half off?
Free?
Exactly.
Yeah. 2 weeks free.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then half off.
So maybe try our code word twice. See what happens.
Yeah. Try it twice. Try it 4 times. See if they actually give you money.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet. And then also, as always, whatamaneuver.net has our OG The Struggle and One World Empire gear.
Yep.
And if you want something a little more current, we are out of stock right now because a certain Shaun Martens, the headline, is headlining the Death Tour with all of our gear.
Yep.
So I know he's going to sell out because those people up there have never seen anything like it.
Ever. They don't know what shirts are like.
Exactly. They're
Never
naked.
seen a shirt
They're
before.
naked up north. They need to be clothed. Hence, Tag Struggle 3 to the rescue. Headline, you're doing a good service.
Cleaning northern Manitoba, one reserve at a time.
Doing what you do best. Headline and everything.
So, this'll do it for episode 60.
You can find us this weekend at The Show Must Go On for MPW.
Yep.
Kicking ass, taking names, taking ass, and kicking names.
I'll be beating up duds.
Duds. The Dudley Do-Rights of MPW. I will. You know what? I'm going to come to ringside wearing a tutu.
Like a tutu jersey because he played for the Blackhawks?
No, I don't have one of those yet. But no, an actual like tutu. Like,
see what I did there, though?
I enjoyed that. Yes. Get at me on the Twitter, on the Instagram, the Facebook. Let me know what color I should wear. If you tell me, I'll wear it.
Why don't you get a Tag Struggle theme tutu?
I don't have enough time or money. That kind of thing takes time to patent and whatnot.
You have a fiance. Get on it.
I know.
Bitches.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all I got.
That's all I got. So this does it for episode 60 of The Sounds of Struggle.
Let's go drink, bitch!
We're Tag Struggle. We're royal.
And spectacular!
Bitter bitches. I'm thirsty.
When your heart's pounding out of your chest, you can feel the thing shaking as you're running out of breath.